is News 8 at 5.
A great and noble man, the best father a son or daughter could have.
The last full measure of devotion and
loyalty to his country, loyalty to his family, loyalty to his friends, loyalty to the institutions of government, and always, always, always a friend to his friends.
Was the real George H.W. Bush.
Remembering President George Herbert Walker Bush. We're glad you're with us, everybody. I'm Darren Kramer.
I'm Ann Nyberg. The nation and the world is honoring the 41st President of the United States. Right now, his body is on Air Force One flying to Texas, where a funeral and burial service will be held tomorrow.
ABC's Elizabeth Herr in Houston tonight with the latest on the memorial service.
President George Herbert Walker Bush taking his final flight home. The Bush family returning to Houston with their patriarch following a state funeral in Washington.
He left us a more perfect union.
And touching eulogies from friends answering the one question that haunted Bush 41 his entire life after surviving being shot down during World War II.
Made our lives and the lives of nations freer, better, warmer, and nobler. That's why him. That's why he was spared.
The cathedral packed with political leaders from across the country and around the world, including all living U.S. presidents coming together to honor Bush for his decency, his humor.
He loved a good joke, but he never, ever could remember a punchline.
His commitment to his service and devotion to his family.
And the last words he would ever say on earth were, "I love you too."
Former President and son George W. Bush delivering the final eulogy, breaking down, calling his late father a great and noble man and the best father.
And in our grief, let us smile knowing that Dad is hugging Robin and holding Mom's hand again.
The Bush family is extremely popular here in Texas, their adopted home state, and so authorities, they've actually set up shuttle buses to take mourners to and from the family's church for public viewing hours, which, by the way, they don't begin for another couple of hours, but as you can see, people are already waiting in line. Elizabeth Herr, ABC News, Houston.
A day full of honor and service for a Connecticut sailor who held a special role in today's funeral for President George H.W. Bush.
Scott McDonald joins us now with how a man from Milford was front and center for this history. Scott.
Darren and Ann, hundreds of thousands watching around the world as our 41st president, George H.W. Bush, was honored and remembered as he heads to his final resting place. And right there in the middle of it all was Alan Lewis Jean, a member of the Navy Ceremonial Guard. Today, he carried the president's body. In the Navy for about a year now, Alan Louis Jean found himself tasked with the assignment of a lifetime: carry the body of our 41st President George H.W. Bush during his funeral procession.
I've been anxious all day.
His mom, who works at the VA hospital, tried to slip away to see her son with such an important role in all the coverage. Of course, their family beaming with pride.
We're all just very proud of him. He's the first in our family to actually go into the military.
Louis Jean went to Plot Tech in Milford. He was selected by higher-ups to serve in the Navy's Ceremonial Guard.
He's very proud of his position.
He carried the former president's casket from the Capitol to the Washington National Cathedral. A Navy man just like Bush, who enlisted when he was just 18 years old.
He knows that he wants the Navy to be basically the path that he goes down.
So today, not only carrying the casket of a Navy brother like he's done so many times before, but step by step with a sure foot and strong hands, escorting our 41st president on his final journey.
He said he's actually stepping into history today.
Louisiana also served as ceremonial guard in the funeral of Senator John McCain. And tomorrow, the Navy will honor President Bush with the largest ever 21 aircraft flyover. A pilot said being selected to participate in that memorial is one of the highest honors a naval aviator can receive. In the studio tonight, Scott McDonald, News 8.
And I know that, he will always be one of our favorites, that's for sure.
East Haven with fond memories of the late president.
They had a personal connection to the elder Bush. News 8's Brian Spiros explains.
In life, timing is everything. Deborah Golombeski in East Haven knows that all too well.
I felt so honored to be right there. I felt like a celebrity myself, even though they're the celebrities.
Rewind to the summer of 1990. Deborah, along with her husband and at the time 10-month-old son, were up in Kennebunkport, Maine. That's when she heard the Bush family would be attending service at a nearby church.
I went early and I went in the third pew and I waited, and sure enough, the whole Bush family walked in. They sat right in front of me.
The Bush family is no stranger to Kennebunkport, spending a great deal of time at their vacation compound. But on this day, the Golombeskis got a rare treat. First, Barbara Bush started interacting with their son.
Yes, she kept waving to him and, like making all little faces and stuff like that.
And then this happened. Little Stephen got a picture with the president.
And I said, gee, Mr. President, would you mind just taking a quick picture with my son? And at first the Secret Service men said, no, we're in a big hurry. And then he had looked right back at the baby and he said, hurry up, hand the baby to me. I'll take a picture with him.
Deborah sent a copy of the picture along with a thank you card to the Bushes. 2 weeks later, she got an enlarged photo back signed by the president. The original picture of Stephen and President Bush, something they will always cherish, especially today as they watch a country bid farewell to number 41.
And I know that, he will always be one of our favorites, that's for sure.
Reporting from East Haven, Brian Spiros, News 8.
Stay with News 8 on air and online as we continue to remember the life and legacy of President George H.W. Bush. Tomorrow, we will bring you full coverage of his funeral in Houston, Texas.
We want to get a check on your weather, but we also want to tell you at this hour there are power outages at UConn Storrs campus right now. The outages have forced classes in some of the buildings to be canceled this evening.
School is working on getting the power back on. We'll be watching that. Let's watch the weather now. Joe Fury is here checking it out, and a little chilly out there today, Joe.
Indeed, Darren, and yeah, we're talking about temperatures a little more in line with way late in December. Hi, everybody. Today, look at this, a storm. 3 to 7.5 inches of snow in southern New Jersey, Atlantic County. Yeah, low pressure is developing out here. This is what we call a trough or a northern trough that's extending back. So winter storm warnings and a real mess down here in southern New Jersey. That's not coming here, sliding on out. Look at the lightning happening right here at the moment. So we're going to see these clouds depart as we head through the overnight tonight with, well, the temperature that's right now 32 at Farmington, 31 at Durham and Essex. Yeah, it is cold out there. 32 at Niantic, 30 at Harwinton. A pretty uniform temperature profile. The good news, there's not much wind. That's helping out. So once the clouds clear out, temperature style will drop back, teens to the north, 20s in southern areas. And then tomorrow, southwest wind out ahead of an Arctic front, mixed sun and clouds. Temperatures get up near 40. It'll feel pretty good for the day on Thursday, but then we're going right back down again. The wind's going to pick up. We'll talk about your weekend and a bigger storm down the road in the 8-day forecast coming up.
All right, Joe, thanks. We are watching some breaking news right now. Crews on the scene of a fire in Vernon.
This is on East Main Street. News 8's Bob Wilson joins us live from there with the latest. Bob.
Yeah, we do have a lot of good news to report. The fire broke out, and within minutes, firefighters were on the scene. It's in the third story of this building over here, and they were able to keep it to the third story. One person was treated for minor injuries. We're not sure if they were taken to the hospital or not yet. We've been talking to firefighters as they come out of the scene. However, we've not gotten official word from the chief. We just know that it is a fire. We don't know what started it. And fortunately, only one person had minor injuries, and they were able to contain that fire rather quickly. That's what's going on here, and I'll point out that Route 74 East is shut down right now. It's on the way to the highway. Be careful of that. I'm Bob Wilson, reporting live in Vernon, News 8.
All right, Bob, thanks. We're also following a developing story out of Hartford where police are investigating a double shooting. It happened inside a building on Park Street this afternoon. 2 people shot. 1 should be okay, we're told. The other one does have life-threatening injuries. Police still investigating. If you have a tip, you're asked to call Hartford Police.
A teenager is recovering after being hit by a car at Coventry High School.
News 8's Tina Detel has been following this story today. She tells us what happened.
Coventry High School, my daughter just got hit by a car in front of the school. Please send emergency.
Okay, to high school?
That 911 call came in at 7:16 Wednesday morning after a Coventry High School student was dropped off by her father right in front of the school.
At the high school, Coventry High School, my daughter, she's 16, she just got hit by a car, please.
Okay, is she conscious?
Yes, sir, this is my daughter. Just please.
Okay, they're on their way.
Please,
yep.
please.
She exited the car, went around to the back, and at that time another vehicle had backed up and she kind of got crushed between the two vehicles.
The student was transported to Connecticut Children's Medical Center in Hartford.
It was very hectic this morning because when a lot of the seniors are pulling in and the kids who could drive, there were paramedics everywhere, so it was very crazy.
Police say the white newspaper delivery van, similar to this one, had turned around and was backing up when the girl who was getting something out of the back of her father's crossover-type vehicle was hit.
I was certainly in a position that is abnormal.
From what I heard, though, she broke her hip. That's all I heard.
Police say the injuries are not as serious as first thought. They report that the van did have a backup camera.
How can they not know that there wasn't a child back there?
People got to watch what they're doing. That's heartbreaking.
The superintendent sent out a letter to parents explaining what happened this morning. Now, he tells us that there is counseling available for any students who may need it.
Police are reviewing surveillance video and are asking anyone who saw the accident to give them a call. The van driver may face charges. In Coventry, Tina Detel, News 8.
Police in Hamden are looking for two men wanted for fraud. Take a close look at these photos. They were taken at Walgreens in New Haven on October the 20th. Kind of hard to see. Police say $159 was charged to the victim's credit union account. If you have any information, call Hamden Police.
In Bridgeport, police trying to figure out why two bullets were left in the school gym. The bullets were found in Jetty S. Tisdale School by a student yesterday morning. Classes were in session as police searched the school for about 20 minutes. They did not find a gun.
A high school football coach is fired. Coming up, the controversy in Guilford that has left one coach without a job.
Where can you go for free nutritional advice from experts? I'll take you to a Connecticut store that offers just that. I'm Jocelyn Mamita. That's coming up in your weekly wellness report.
And here's a live look outside in Hartford. Pretty. It feels like December out there. Coming up, Joe Fury has your latest forecast for what lies ahead.
New at 6, an adult club in New Haven is looking to make a change of address, but they could face some challenges.